Why stick to plain old boring fruit gummies when you can have peanut butter and jelly gummies or Nutella gummies?
Let's see what's cooking. Let's get the facts. Let's see what's cooking. It's time for yoyomax12.
Hello everyone, starting off with a medium-sized saucepan, and you'll need 1.5 cups of nut milk, like almond milk or cashew milk, or you could even use coconut milk for this. Then add in 1 tablespoon of honey. If you want these to be a bit sweeter, you can add more than 1 tablespoon. Then 1/4 cup of smooth peanut butter. Now heat this over medium heat, stirring until it comes to a boil. And by that point, I had switched to a whisk just to make sure all the peanut butter had melted and dissolved into the mixture. And once it comes to a boil, as soon as you see it boiling, take it off the heat, and you're going to add in 4 tablespoons of unsweetened gelatin powder. Now, don't add it in too quickly. Here I added a little bit too much, and you can see it started clumping up. So I used a whisk to try to break up those clumps. What you need to do is just sprinkle a little bit in at a time over the surface. Just let it sit for just 3-4 seconds, and then take your whisk, and I just kind of gently poked at it to try to get it into the mixture and then whisked it, and it was fine. Now, if you do have clumps of gelatin left over after you're done stirring it in, put it back on the heat, bring it back to a boil, give it another whisk, and you'll be fine. They'll dissolve. I poured mine into another container just because it had a spout for ease of pouring. Now it's time to pour your hot mixture into some molds. Now, the plastic molds that you use for chocolate work really well. The only thing you have to do with the plastic ones is to lightly spray them with cooking spray. It's just so that when the jellies are set, they're easier to remove from the pan. The silicone molds you don't necessarily have to grease unless they're very intricate and have lots of detail. And then you can let them sit at room temperature or put them in the fridge until they are set completely. Now, I decided to make some filled gummies, kind of like those fruit gusher candies that have the liquid in the middle. So I took these little miniature silicone muffin pans and I filled it halfway up with the hot mixture. Then I put them in the refrigerator and I let them set until when I touched the surface, it felt like the surface had a skin on it, like the surface was set, but it wasn't necessarily set all the way through. Then I put some Nutella in a Ziploc bag with the corner cut off, and I put a little tiny dollop in the center. As you can see, as I'm putting the Nutella on, it kind of sinks down a little like a waterbed. But the reason you wait until you have a little skin there is to keep the filling from sinking to the bottom. So I did some jam as well for peanut butter and jam. And once that's all done, you're going to take some of that mixture and you're going to pour it over top of your fillings. Now, if the mixture in your pouring container has started to set, all you have to do is put it in the microwave for 10-15 seconds, give it a stir, and it'll be melted again and it'll be usable. So pour it over, let them sit at room temperature or pop them in the fridge, and you have some filled gummies. Now for Nutella gummies, it's the same process, 1.5 cups of almond milk. Then you're going to add in 1/4 cup of Nutella. I don't add honey for this one because Nutella has lots of sugar in it to begin with. Same idea, heat this until it's boiling. And for the Nutella, I found whisking it quite a bit was required because the Nutella kind of stays clumpy. So I had to keep whisking it to get it nice and smooth. Once it comes to a boil, take it off the heat. And they're going to do the same thing. You're going to sprinkle in 4 tablespoons of the gelatin over the surface. Just lightly sprinkle it, stirring after each time. Now 4 tablespoons of gelatin equals about 5 of those little envelopes that are usually in the Knox gelatin boxes. If you know what I'm talking about, if you have Knox gelatin where you are, in envelopes, you need 5 of them. Okay, same idea, pour them into molds. Now when they're set, remove them from your molds and you can store them in a covered container in the refrigerator. And there they are. Now, how did they taste? Well, it's a little strange. The peanut butter ones taste like peanut butter. It's just a bit strange because you don't expect the flavor peanut butter to go with gummy. It's just a very strange kind of a combination. And the texture of these, they are a little like very firm Jello. They're not that gummy-like, like a traditional gummy that you would buy at a store. They're a little bit more tender, and because of the nut milk that's in them, they're a little bit creamy. Now, my favorite ones were the peanut butter and jelly gummies, or the jellies, or whatever you want to call them. When you bite into them, because the jam is sealed in there and you squeeze it and bite into it, the jam kind of squirts out. And anyway, it just tastes really good. It tastes like peanut butter and jelly. And my second favorite one, or my next favorite one, I should say, were the peanut butter and Nutella ones. So would I make these again? I don't know if I would make them again. They were fun to make the first time. And it was very interesting to try. And it's just a very strange texture when you're talking about peanut butter. The Nutella ones were good, except I found that the Nutella flavor was kind of mild. They weren't all that flavorful, to tell you the truth. So anyway, it was fun to try, and maybe you can give them a try and let me know what you think. Now, if you're looking for more traditional style gummies, you might want to give these ones a try. These ones are fruit flavored, and they use a Jello gelatin as well as unflavored gelatin. And these are more gummy-like. They're quite stretchy and they're quite firm when you bite into them, more like a traditional gummy. If you want to see this video, go ahead and click right on your screen or look for the link in the description box below, and it'll also be on your screen in the form of a little eye. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.